A thread by Carlos Osuida. Hat tip 44dub44. The Antifa death squad gunman has identified himself. As I said, they acted openly because they know that in Multnomah County, they'll face no consequences. From Daily Caller, I had no choice. Antifa supporter linked to Portland shooting of Trump supporter. His defense is that by simply existing, Aaron J. Danielson had to be killed. The problem for Michael Forrest Reinoehl is the video. The enhanced audio shows that an Antifa death squad hunted for a random victim and assassinated him as a political statement. First male voice, move, move, move. Second male voice, hey, enemy club's over here. We got a couple right here. Third male voice, him? Second male voice, pull it out. Third male voice, right here? Hissing sound, 2 gunshots. Female voice, knocked him off. Fourth male voice, go, go, go. Now, someone asked me to watch a video that got the death squad part right, but the rest was either factually incorrect or obviously incorrect. Stick to the facts. Here's what we can prove from the imagery and the audio of this video. There were at least 5 members of the Antifa death squad, 4 males and 1 female. They used a floating box formation or 2-column formation. That means the squad was split into 2. One scout and the gunman were on one side of the street, and the commander scout and the others were on the other. I believe there was a lookout at the end of each column. The reason they used 2 columns was to increase their ability to find a random target. The scout on Reinoehl's side of the street, Reinoehl's the killer, told him to begin crossing before Reinoehl even saw Danielson. Move, move, then a wild scream, move! Reinoehl obeyed. He had no idea who he was going to murder. All he knew was that he'd murder who he was told to murder. The scout commander on Danielson's side of the street announced that they'd found a target from the enemy club. The term club is used in multiple fields, most well known as motorcycle clubs, gangs, live-action role players, gaming. Everyone shouted to disorient Danielson. Reinoehl asked, him? And was ordered to take out his pistol, pull it out. Reinoehl asked, right here? Danielson sprayed something, and then Reinoehl shot him twice. Cold-blooded murder. Political assassination. It was 14 seconds from start to finish. They were trained. Now, Reinoehl is completely insane, as you can see in his face. He's hanging himself, which is good. William Barr has everything he needs. Oregon now has 0 leverage. Also, Reinoehl has an extensive history of criminality, most of it gun-related. Let me show you the process through which leftists convinced themselves to support this. It began with microaggression. Mere looks are violence. Then we moved on to words being violence. This justifies unprovoked physical assault as self-defense. Then it became thoughts are violence. Then silence is violence. What's the logical conclusion? Robin J. DiAngelo tells us in her book, White Fragility. She says, all whites are born racist and can't change. Guess what that means? You got it. Existence is violence. Therefore, whites must be exterminated. Antifa has gone full circle. Antifa means anti-fascist. Now they've become the ultimate fascists. Nazis. Don't let anybody kid you. Nazis are leftists. Nationalismus. Nationalsocialismus. National Socialism. They finally admitted to their genocidal racism, and now they're acting on it. Reinoehl will be sentenced to death in a federal court. Antifa will be forcibly disbanded. All the very rich, very stupid people that Donald Trump has identified as the funders of this terrorism will be arrested, and their assets will be automatically confiscated. Antifa accepted advisors from countries and terrorist groups hostile to every aspect of the U.S., including American Antifa. These advisors created the Antifa death squad in order for it to be caught. They expect Americans to react the way people in their countries react. What they want is sectarian civil war, counter-death squads, and a massive military crackdown by Trump. None of it will happen. Do not, I repeat, do not listen to anybody who tells you it's time to even the score. Doing so plays into the hands of Iran. The whole thing stinks of the Iranian mullahs. And there's been a leftist Iranian nexus since 1979. Now, I'm already getting questions and comments that show a total lack of thought. Reinoehl is insane. Do not demand that I explain the thought processes of an insane man. Everything I'm writing is completely easy to understand. You must stop this tendency to stick all these foolish ors into the equation. Stick to the facts. Ignore everything else. Do not clutter your head with irrelevancies. We do not see the death squad. Only Reinoehl. He said himself that he couldn't stand by and let them kill a friend of color. He's admitting to a premeditated political assassination, the first shots fired in the planned extermination of white people. This is textbook terrorism. How many times have we heard Islamist terrorists justify cold-blooded murder with, "We want you to stop murdering our people"? Iran is the largest state sponsor of international terrorism. This is undisputed fact. As for the other people in the closer video, they conferred extensively with the cops and were allowed to stay after everyone else was cleared from the area. What does that tell you? This happened in 14 seconds. It couldn't have been prevented, and it has no antecedent in American history. Although technically the murder of Aaron J. Danielson was a political assassination, Antifa is actually a religious sect. The Antifa death squad is a sectarian death squad. The Iranian mullahs want to ignite a sectarian civil war in the U.S. as well as a brutal crackdown. The most patriotic thing you can do is remain calm. Do not allow yourself to be manipulated by the scum of the earth. Of course you're enraged, but vigilantism will make it harder for us to rid ourselves of this cancer. I beg you to see the big picture. Vote early and in person. If you can't vote in person, get an absentee ballot and return it in person to the county registrar. If you get a mail-in or absentee ballot without asking, keep them and surrender them at the polling station. Research the absolute hell out of it. This is it, kids. The big one. The great turning point. We have one chance to save the country. Do not let down Trump. He is, without exaggeration, our only hope.